Becoming a mama, we always think about those big moments, those days when they start walking, go to kindergarten, go to prom, graduate, get married. So exciting. We don't really ever think about those little moments like being up at 3 a.m., rocking your baby to sleep, changing diapers, picking up toys, cleaning up after them whenever they eat lunch, just like the little things. But listen in, mama, there is so much power in those mundane moments, those little moments that we just don't necessarily appreciate before we're right in the middle of them. So today we want to speak life over you, and we want you to walk away feeling so encouraged in raising up the next generation. If you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Refined Sisterhood podcast. We are your hosts, Maddie and Kate, and we are here to chat about all things motherhood, faith-infused entrepreneurship, and lots of real life.
We want you to leave feeling loved, encouraged, and a whole bunch of excitement for where the Lord has you right in this moment. We are so glad you are here.
So grab your coffee, matcha, tea, whatever makes you happy, and let's hang out and indulge in some joyful conversations. What is up, friends? Welcome back to the podcast. We are so excited that you're here, and we're excited for our topic today. We're talking a little bit about the mundane of life, and specifically in motherhood, and how those little moments that we just kind of overlook are so important. And so we're going to dive straight in. Maddie, are you ready? Are you feeling good today?
I am. I'm really pumped for this. This is something the Lord's been working on my heart, so I'm really excited to talk about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I'm just going to kind of walk you through something that I realized the other day. I was sitting here, I just fed Keegan lunch, and if you have a child, you know that feeding them and the mess that comes from it, it's a disaster. Like, it literally was all over his face. He was covered in his lunch. And I was just sitting there looking at him, and it like clicked in me that like there's so many moments in this thing called motherhood. Like,
yes,
you know, there are those big moments, but like there's so many small moments too. So many moments that we just, like the other day, I said to Sean, I was like, I cannot believe the amount of stuff I get done in a day. Like, it's honestly impressive. And it's, yeah. I don't even think about it. It's just because we're on the move constantly. But I was sitting there like watching Keegan with his messy hands and like the mess I knew I was going to have to clean up afterwards. And like, I knew I was going to have to change his clothes and change his diaper, and I had so many other things that I needed to do, like laundry and cook my own self food and just all the things. And I was like, wow, there are so many little moments that like if we paid attention to it, like there could be so much power in those little moments.
Yeah. And it's so easy to miss them. Like you just kind of like dismiss them as like everyday life, like, blah, like like it's something that you have to do, not something that you like wake up and get to see and watch and do. And so
yeah,
I don't know. We live in a world where obviously like there's social media, and we see the big moments of people's lives. We see their graduation. We see prom. We see graduation from kindergarten. We see birthdays and like just those big moments. We see when they get awards. It's just like you see all these people's lives and like all of the big moments, and we get so excited and almost like wrapped up in like waiting for those big moments that we dismiss like the little ones. And it kind of sucks because it's just like, why do we miss those moments when they're so big? I mean, they really are so big.
Yeah, they are. And it's when you like take that step back, and like I said, this is something the Lord's been working on my heart. So when I take a step back and being like, I get to change his diaper. I get to cook him lunch. I get to play with him on the ground. I get to breastfeed him. I get to put his toys up at the end of the day. Like, I get to do those things. And instead of just like living everyday life and passing all those moments by, like really listening in and being like, okay, what can the Lord teach me through all these small moments? Like, these are all moments that I've prayed for. And then once you have them in your life, like you dismiss them. And like Kaitlin said, we look for those big moments like graduation and getting married and stuff like that, instead of like honing in on these small moments hold so much weight, and they're also going to be the moments that like your kids are going to remember when they're older.
Absolutely. It's so important for you to remember that like being present in those little moments is going to stick with your children. And what I mean by that is like, yes, your kids are going to look for you when they're on the ball field or when they're at graduation or like when something big in their life is going on, like they're going to look for you in the stands or like wherever they're at. But they're also looking to us every single day and watching every step that we make. And we have to be careful, like, the things that we say, the actions that we take, like the attitudes that we have, like those are really important because our kids are watching us, but also just like the way that we respond to like the little things. So for instance, like say your toddler is like playing with a toy and they're so excited because they just built a tower or they built their blocks and it's so exciting. And you just like in the back of your head, you're just kind of like, oh yeah, the block tower is cool. But like it's so important, I feel like, to like praise them and be like, oh, that is so cool. Like that is so important. Like what you did is it's so big, even though in reality, like it is little. And I mean, well, it's not little. It is big, but like
it's really
it
big
feels little to us. And so like those moments, it's important because they're going to remember like how we respond to them. And they're also going to remember like what our attitudes are when we're in the mundane. So when we are cleaning up their mess or when we are folding the laundry while they're playing on the floor, like what do we look like? What are our attitudes? And like, those things matter.
Oh yeah. It's crazy. I have younger siblings. And like, there's a really big age gap. So with Keegan, like I can tell at his age, he's 10 months and he is picking up on stuff that like how I respond. He can watch my body language and I can tell he understands, but he still is only 10 months. But with my younger siblings, I remember when they were younger, like in their toddler years, and watching how I responded and the posture of how I responded played a huge part in how they responded and how they accepted what I was saying, or even how like what they thought about that later in life. Like I know for us, like if we were to be sitting there cleaning up their mess and we are like, this is so annoying. Like I have to clean up toys all day long or well, I don't want to cook you dinner. Like we have so many things to do. Like we'll just stop and get you McDonald's. Like, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I'm all for feeding your kid McDonald's. I could care less. But I'm saying like, if that's the posture of your heart and you are like, they are second in like convenience to you, they're going to see that and be like, dang, like I'm a burden, you know? And like, obviously they don't understand the weight of that fully at their age, but like those little things start to build and they're like, I am such a burden. Like they have to just pick up after me all day long. And then also they might have those attitudes towards those things too. So when they start getting chores, having to pick up their toys, if they've seen you have a negative attitude about it for the last 3 years of doing it for them, they're going to be like, dang, I think I'm supposed to have a bad attitude about cleaning up toys too, you know?
Yeah, and it's really sad. I actually was on TikTok. This is so bad. I just thought about it though. I was on TikTok a few weeks ago and I came across, you know, you get on the mom talk and there's like the funny ones and all that stuff. There was literally this mom, and I'm not speaking like bad about her. I'm just simply stating what she put in her TikTok, which was that she like was sarcastically asking moms like, am I the only one? And then she like went on to basically say that she's like, she does not care to like go to her kids' practices. Like it's so boring and like all of this stuff. And like, it doesn't really matter because it's not like a game or whatever. Anyways, her attitude in it, like she was stating these exact facts. But like for me, I listened to it and I was like, wait, that might be like almost like a chore and that might be very mundane for you. And yeah, sitting at a practice, like I grew up playing sports. I know practices they can't be that fun for parents to always be there and have to watch, but like those moments are so important and those moments are going to define like how your children end up like feeling about you as a parent one day. And so this got really deep really fast.
I was literally about to say, whoa, this took a turn.
This got really deep really fast. But like in general, it's not just like I don't know.
The big moments of like I'm going to I see them in the stands at my college graduation, but like they see you like getting on the floor with them and saying, hey, Keegan, like, I know cleaning up kind of sucks. Like, I get it, but let me do it with you. And then so when they have their own kids, or even when they're older, they have a healthy relationship with these things that are so mundane.
Yeah, I agree. But anyways, I just wanted to share that because it honestly, like, it kind of shocked me. I understand because I'm human and like humanness sometimes takes over, but like, that's just one of those things that it's like, it kind of like put me in my place and was like, okay, I don't ever want to post anything like this or be like this because I want to be there for my kids in the mundane moments, even when they're very repetitive. And I might need my mama time, which that was her whole point of the TikTok, was that she needs her own time and like quiet and stuff, which I understand. But at the same time, it's like these mundane small moments where it's not like big celebrations or whatever, like they're so important.
Yeah. And they probably are something that you've prayed for before or that someone else is praying for. Yeah. So just being like very gentle to know that like someone is praying for this, or maybe like I said, this is something you've prayed for. Like we prayed for kids my whole life and we have them, and it's so like our flesh overpowers and we are like, oh, these moments are so mundane. Or I know for Sean and I, at the end of the night, like it feels like we do the same routine. Like, and I love having a routine, but it's so like routine, mundane. He gets the bottle, puts Keegan in bed. I'm cleaning up. And then it's times like that where I'm like, okay, this is what, when I was saying the Lord's been working on my heart, is instead of being like, okay, I know I have to do that tonight. I'm like, I have to, as in I have to. And instead saying like, I get to do these things. Yeah. I get to clean up after him. I like in those moments, like being thankful, having a heart of thankfulness instead of being like, oh, I have to do this again tonight. Like, when is this going to be over? Like, I can't wait for the day that like he can clean up after himself and like all that. We're always looking for like that next thing to get here. So they can do X, Y, and Z, or we don't have to do something else. We get more time to ourselves or we get more sleep. But then we're like, we're passing all of this by.
Yeah, for sure. And so going off of all of that, obviously like mundane moments, they are bigger than like what we actually perceive, especially when it comes to our children. And so we want to leave you with some tips and like things that are ways that you can like lean into those mundane moments and just like appreciate them and not just consider them ordinary, but extraordinary.
Yeah.
And the first tip that we want to give you is just to thank God for the messes.
Mm-hmm.
Messes are a sign of life. And it means that like your children are like, in a way they could be living their best life, eating that food and making that mess. And that's so cool. Like messes are what make life fun for kids. I think like, I don't know. I remember when I was a kid, I used to love going outside and making mud pies.
Me from the country.
I can't even take myself seriously saying that. But anyways, I used to love going outside and like making mud pies, and like I would come in covered in mud, or like I would love to like pick up those little like roly-poly things, like messes like that, or even like messes inside, like when there's just toys everywhere. Like those are a sign that like you have a child who can like get into their creativity and have imagination, and like that's so important to thank God for.
Oh yeah, I was not like that. I was not rolling in the mud and bringing in bugs. Like
I was a tomboy until I was in like middle school. So
when you said picking up bugs, I was out. Like that's not me. Anyways, sorry. I know I said this one a minute ago, but stop thinking about one day and start focusing on today. Like I said, one day my baby will be potty trained and I won't have to change diapers. Or one day my baby will be sleeping through the night and I will actually get sleep. But like that discontentment robs us of our joy. And you don't want to, like I said earlier, you don't want to just waste all these days or all these moments, all these days and say, I just want to get there. I just want him to be able to do this. And then you're like at their freaking wedding and you're like, I just want to clean their mess up again. Like I know I had this conversation with my mother-in-law almost weekly, and she's like, Keegan will be screaming or doing something, and she's always like, these are the like noises I miss. Like you don't ever have to apologize, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And then the third one that we want to leave you with is be in the word. And I feel like we literally say this on like every podcast, but it's the most important of all. It's the way of life, and we're going to continue to say it in every podcast, but be in the word, be in prayer, and let those moments humble you, because you don't want to get to a point where you like, instead of like humbling yourself through prayer with Jesus, instead you like have a moment of frustration or like irritableness, or like you have multiple moments, and then one day you just blow up, and then you realize like, oh crap, I just like I really lost it, and like I was just like not in a good place, and now my child saw how I truly like feel about this or whatever, and like that's gonna humble you, but it's gonna be a way worse type of humbling. And it's really important to remember, like, being a mom, you're doing holy work. And so when you're in the word and you allow the Lord to like transform your life as a mom and allow him to humble you and to bring you down, and remember that like you are literally raising his children, hopefully, you are raising the kids that he trusted you with. Like that is so important, and submerging and immersing ourselves into the word and allowing it to come to life for us is what is going to help us to be the best mom that we can be, and enjoy those moments that sometimes they're just, it's gonna suck. Like, sometimes it just like, look, doing laundry is not fun.
I have 4 loads that I have to fold, and I feel like I have 4 loads every single day. I'm always like telling Sean, I'm like, I folded 4 loads today, and then I'm like, I think I fold 4 loads every day. You're right. It's not fun.
I clean my whole house every single day, but sometimes somehow it's still a disaster every single day.
Preach, girl, preach. I also think I know if you're submerging yourself in the word and you're in prayer, like God is going to meet you where you're at. He's going to meet you in those moments, and he's going to satisfy those who hunger and thirst for him. And you can find that in Matthew. And that's so true. Like there's so many times when that frustration does hit, and instead of being like, all right, I'm about to pop off, here it goes, instead of doing that, because nothing good's going to come out of that, saying like, God, I need you to meet me in this mess. Like, I don't think I can do it today. Like, and being like Kaitlin said, humbling yourself, and the Lord is going to meet you in those moments, because you aren't enough. You can't do it yourself. Right. But God can meet you in those moments.
Exactly. And those moments are holy. We just want you to remember that, because I don't know. It's those little moments where you're literally giving them a bath after they've went and jumped in a giant mud puddle. Yeah. Or like me and Maddie haven't even hit those days yet, but I can see it now. Actually, a friend of mine, she posts often about her children. And there was this one time she posted her putting her child in the bathtub because he had poop everywhere. And like had it all the way up his back, in his hair, on his face. Like
that would be one of the moments I'm saying, Lord, come down, help me,
from head to toe. And like that is one of those moments where you're just like, oh yeah, like you've got to be kidding me. Oh my gosh. And then you go put them in the bath, and you're just like trying to rush and like wash them off. And in reality, like even though that moment is disgusting, quite frankly, it's still a moment where your kid is going to remember, hey, my mommy cleaned me off when I was dirty. And that is so important. And, what you do matters to the kingdom of God. Like, and that is the end all be all, is like everything that we do, it matters, whether it's mopping the floor or like, it doesn't matter. It matters because, God meets us in those moments. And some of those mundane moments can be the most teachable moments, because like you said, you were literally sitting in the kitchen or standing in the kitchen the other day, and you looked at Keegan and you were like, wow, there's so much in motherhood that like we might miss. And that was a really teachable moment. Yeah. Just like him telling you that through you watching Keegan eat.
Yeah. That's how this podcast happened too. Yeah. Like, hopefully it can resonate with some of you. And then we just want to leave you with some truths that I know the Lord has specifically been refining in my heart. And I just pray that they can encourage you. The first one, we've said it before, but here is holy. You are right where you're supposed to be. And when you know that, it makes all these mundane moments, these messy moments, these moments of feeling like I cannot keep doing this. It makes them all have so much more weight. And like I said, here's holy. And then the second one is we are raising the next generation. And God, that scares me. Like, and when I hear that, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm the for real parent here. Like I have to be the one that is raising it. Yeah. And it's so crazy. But when we understand that we are raising the next generation, we have this job and assignment on our life to shepherd our children in a way that is a direct reflection of the Lord's heart and also his character.
Yes. And then another one that we have is I can experience him through the mundane while doing dishes, waiting in the Starbucks drive-thru, folding the stacked up pile of laundry. All of these ordinary moments are prayers answered and are sacred, which is so true.
Yeah.
And then the next one, every single day is a million little miracles, which I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
That's it. That gives me like chills. Every time I say that, like there's a song about that. A Million Little Miracles.
Maverick City.
Yeah. Hashtag you should listen. But yeah, like it's so crazy when you think about it like that. Like our whole like every single day is wrapped up into tiny little miracles over and over and over and over happening. And that is just so freaking cool. And then the last one is the practice of peace and presence in my daily life changes everything.
Yes, for sure. That's a good one to leave on. I have nothing else to say. Mic drop. Anyways, we hope that you leave today feeling so refreshed and just knowing that like your work is holy as a mom. And even if you're not a mom and you just listen to this, like one day, if the Lord gives you the gift of mothering, like it is holy work. And it's important even to just know that about the women around you, the mom friends that you do have. And this is a way to like remind them, you know, like I see you in those mundane moments and you're doing a great job. And we just want you to know we see you, we love you, and what you're doing is absolutely amazing. And we just want you to remember that there is power in those mundane moments and there's just peace that comes with it. And we just love you guys. And so we want to leave you with that. Thank you for being here. We are so thankful that you're here in our corner, or we love being in your corner. Yeah. And if there's any way that we can pray for you, run to our website because we have a prayer request box on there. Leave it on there and we will be praying for you, or you can just DM us, whatever. Join our Facebook group. The link is in the description box. We would love to have you there to just have some good community building conversations. And we'll be back next Wednesday because that's when we drop new episodes. So we love you. We hope you have a bomb Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, weekend, all the days until you see us again. But we love you guys. All right. Bye.
Bye. We had so much fun getting to hang out with you today, and we hope that you are feeling encouraged, loved, and full of purpose.
If you've enjoyed today's podcast episode, we would absolutely love it if you would write us a review so that we can hear how we encouraged you. And if you haven't subscribed, go do that right now. Also, you can join the sisterhood by finding us on Instagram at The Refined Sisterhood.
Okay, friend, we hope you have the best week, and we will see you in the next episode.